Because no one's coming to rescue you.
Oh, you're expecting Prince Charming?
Yes, actually.
I like to tell you the reason why for the video right in the first 3 seconds.
It's better like that. For you whack MCs.
Very smart women settle before it's too late because no one's coming to rescue you.
It's getting to the point where being pretty don't even matter anymore. Hear me out, because
pretty is the default setting on a woman. Like, what else do you do besides being pretty? You thought that's all you needed? That's why nobody's coming to rescue you.
it's like in this generation, if you're pretty, 9 times out of 10, you're just like men just lust over you. They don't even actually end up liking you for real. They don't love you for like.
Lady, there's nothing outside of your looks to like. You're only porn hubbable. But that's the way you present yourself. This guy has put all his eggs into the basket of improving himself. This guy has made himself lovable. The type of credit he got with his credit score, he can get any girl that's pretty. Pretty.
Are you outside of your mind?
They just like what they see. And they just want to crack. They just want to crack. Literally, they just want to crack. You look good, they want to crack. Y ya te dan tu banda.
Okay.
Women in this generation, you can't really be mad that men only want to crack because you're presenting yourself like that's all there is to do with you.
He's not lying.
I mean, even this girl here, her screen name is Autistic. So she's saying, even though I have autism, look at my boobs. I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that I have holes. Don't worry about my neurodivergence. Pay attention to my jiggly boobs. Just like us guys. We wouldn't be mad if you was only coming after us for money when we flaunting all of our riches and wealth around you. So again, nobody's coming to rescue you. But very smart women, they realize, you know what? I don't check all of his boxes either. That's first and foremost. He's settling for me.
This man said, why every time I meet a woman, she's behind on her bills or she needs help with a bill? If that's something that you're questioning and it's bothering you, upsetting you, that you have to bring it to the internet, you don't need to be meeting women right now.
I disagree because
I don't need a man.
And having said that, you shouldn't have the need for
3 apps that will let you split your rent into payments. The first one is called the Flex app. The next one is called Rent app. And the third one is called Livable. Now, all 3 of these apps work the same way. They will pay your rent in full and you pay them back in installments.
So if you don't need no man, you don't need to be broke. So that's why I disagree. But continue what you was talking about. By all means, you camel face bitch.
You need to be focusing on yourself and getting your life together so that that doesn't bother you. Ew. This man said, why every time I meet a woman, she's behind on her bills or she needs help with a bill?
Now, to me, that sounds like a valid question, but I'm sure she's going to figure out a way to say that it isn't. Viewer discretion is advised.
If that's something that you're questioning and it's bothering you, upsetting you, that you have to bring it to the internet, you don't need to be meeting women right now. You need to be focusing on yourself and getting your life together so that that doesn't bother you.
I just had to play this to get a second opinion. Maybe I'm being too hard on these hoes.
If paying your full rent in one go makes you cry a little on the inside, this is for you. SplitPay just went live in all residential portals, which means you can literally split your rent into 2 payments no matter what building you're in. No awkward combos with your landlord and no permission needed. Plus, you're building credit history every single month. Tap here to get started.
I just wanted to remind you fellas what we're up against when dealing with these women who are claiming you're broke because you won't frivolously give them your funds and or because you expect them to show and prove that
I don't need no nigga, y'all be in the way. Walk with that sack under my arm cause stacking up must. I walk with the sack under my arm cause I get money.
Let's go.
First and foremost, this has to be labeled as digital panhandling. Let's just get that out the way now. So her advice is that we should not feel bothered if we continue to meet women and every time we meet them, their bills are due. Her logic is that we need to focus on ourselves because that should not bother us. And if we focus on ourselves and get our money up, only then will women's bills being due not bother us. As an average man that makes really good money for himself, that shit is always gonna fucking bother us. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And the ones that it don't bother are called tricks. Tricks are here to pay for the cat and an experience. They're not here to really date you. That's not how they move.
Right quick, let's go back to what this broke lonely chick said.
It's getting to the point where being pretty don't even matter anymore. Hear me out, because it's like in this generation, if you're pretty, 9 times out of 10, you're just like, men just lust over you. They don't even actually end up liking you for real. They don't love you. They don't love you. They don't love you.
That's one of the things I don't believe girls recognize. Well, dumb girls. Smart women do. Very smart women do. About men. We'll sit, watch men, listen to men, apply what's logical and what works, and won't use what doesn't sound logical and what, based on logic and our own experience, probably wouldn't work. Whereas women, you don't know what you're doing, so you'll just blindly follow another woman. This is partly why these weird chicks who are looking for the trick prostitute experience from men end up calling girls who get scooped up pick-me's, because she got a lifetime trick. I mean, if you will, I don't want to call us men tricks, but he's covering her. He's protecting her. He's responsible for her. A trick ain't responsible for you. He paid you to leave, you dumb bitch. He don't care what happened to you after he's paid you your money.
And if you're not here to date, sweetheart, just tell us what the price is up front. That way we could skip all the small talk and get down to business. Secondly, let's go into the alternate universe. That's like me saying right now, ladies, if you are upset that every time you meet a man on the first night he's trying to crack, you ain't got no business dating. You need to focus on yourself. Be prepared to satisfy a man like a real woman should. And then, and only then, will you be prepared to date. And if that interaction between you and those men are upsetting you and upsetting you so much that you have to bring it to the internet, you truly are not prepared to date right now. You see how fucking ridiculous that sounds? Like, if you made it this far into the video, like, do you see how fucking ridiculous that sounds? No matter how you chop this shit up, if you are a fully functioning adult woman and you are trying to date, right? And one of the conversations you're trying to have with that man is that your bills is due and you are anticipating that he should be willing and prepared to pay for said bills, you're cooked. Just sell it already. There's a real profession out there for you. There are women that provide services, right? And they get paid for said services. Just join that group. Call it a motherfucking day. Stop trying to frame it like you looking for a husband when you really looking for a trick. But you know what? I know y'all ain't gonna listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
You're damn right. Modern day women do not need no man. At the end of the day, they're God.
Wait, what did you say?
They expect for you guys to worship them. They expect for you guys to treat them like they're queens, even though they didn't do anything to deserve that title. But they just woke up one day and decided, hey, I'm so special, everyone should just bow down to me.
Now that's interesting.
I have girl parts. I'm amazing. I don't have to bring anything to the table. Kiss my behind. That's the world that we're living in. Now, let me correlate this to the reality of where this mindset comes from. This is some devilry that these women are lying to themselves with, but whatever the case is, if you want to believe that, then that's up to you. Everybody's entitled to their beliefs. But the reality is, what even is marriage? What is a marital relationship? It's what God ordained for human beings to engage in so that they can make their sex and their children that were begotten from that sex legit. That's what marriage is. That's why it's holy. That's why it's sanctified. That's why it's covered. No matter what religion you belong to, all marriages are legit in the eyes of the Lord. Well, between men and women, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just talking about religiously speaking, okay? So, these same women that claim that they don't need nobody.
I don't need a man.
These ratchet girls will be the same ones up in church catching the Holy Ghost, their wigs flying all over the place, jumping up and down like they ain't got no sense, but they walking out of church the very next day claiming they don't need no man, they not gonna be under nobody, they don't need the coverage of no husband, they don't need none of that. Meanwhile, a lot of them have children out of wedlock, a lot of them are still having sex, even though, religiously speaking, that's not allowed. And where have we heard this before? There's a story in the Bible where Satan basically tried to tempt Jesus by telling him, oh, I'll give you the world if you just bow down and worship me. That's insane. So you're putting yourself on the same level as Satan, who wants everyone to worship him because he doesn't believe that God should be placed above everyone else, even though God created everybody? That's really strange. And this is how we women are indoctrinating ourselves to carry ourselves like we're gods and goddesses, putting ourselves in the same partnerships with God. What? Isn't that like against a commandment or something? I'm talking about, these are people that they claim that they have a religion, and this is how they're carrying themselves. Men who are hearing this, I'm pointing this out to say, don't be alarmed when these women talk like this. Feel like God is trying to give you a sign to stay away from these people, because if they don't have the God consciousness to check themselves when it comes to something like this, she expects you to worship her like she's the Lord. That's insanity. You're fighting against what God said, so you're trying to say that God don't know what he's talking about. God made a mistake. God did not give you the correct instructions on how to have a peaceful life.
He's never lied to me.
Where are we meeting men if it's not dating apps?
Hit your 40s, certain things start to happen.
The way, like, no one's going to want to go on a date with me.
The dating apps have officially humbled me.
If I go on one more date,
Don't feel rushed. It is not scary. I promise you.
I went on a Hinge day on Friday and I booked him on the Saturday.
This was officially my last straw.
You're making a huge mistake.
If he wanted to, he would. The dating world is insane. Know when to leave.
Little dating update for you.
Why is it so fucking hard to date in your 30s?
So I went on a not date last night.
Day 13, post breakup.
Dating in your 30s in Orange County is rough.
I'm using him incorrectly.
Honestly, I don't blame girls that go back to their exes or situationship.
This is what I wish I knew when I was in my 20s.
I got the ick mid getting out. Dating after you get divorced, you are a literal crazy person.
Another guy, another man-child, yet again, disappeared.
Dating before you realize that you are everything you'll ever need, and the dating after you realize that you are everything you ever will need.
Just because you married your college sweetheart and you guys still happen to be together doesn't make you a dating expert.
My name is Lisa. I'm 42, dating younger, and these are the things men say to me on Hinge.
If you're a woman in your 40s and you have dated a man in your 20s, I need to hear from you. These young ones are persistent. He says he likes older women because we know what we want and we don't play games, and I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, but you know what that means, ma'am? He knows that you are easy to get, and he can be direct with you, and he can sleep easily with you. That's what it means, ma'am. He doesn't have to go on dates with you. He doesn't have to spend money on you. He just sleeps with you.
But we're looking at a 17-year age gap here. I can think of all the reasons why this is a terrible idea.
Someone said the average millennial is 36 years old and has nothing to their name. And they're living basically paycheck to paycheck with roommates in their 30s, not married, no kids because they can't afford it. And in fact, what they do have is a bunch of debt. So their future self already knows that they're going to be broke. They're going to be poor. So we're essentially in a trap that we literally cannot get out of no matter how much we work, no matter how many jobs we have. A lot of people have a full-time job during the week and then Uber on the weekends just to make some extra money. That in itself sets you up for depression. I mean, think about working and having nothing to show for it.
I actually did drive Uber about 7 years ago, and it was fun for like 2 months. And then the depression thing, you sit there and you go, oh God, I'm an Uber driver. And some people treat you as such. Like they'll literally go, so what else do? You in school? What do you do outside of this?
I just gotta say to you women, nobody's coming to rescue you. And it gets worse for you the older that you get. Now, very smart women know in the beginning, like in their 20s, in their late teens, 17, 18, 19, they realize there is no Prince Charming. I'm not even a princess. I'm going to have to work with whatever this guy comes with because he is nice enough to work with whatever I come with. Because every year, a fresh batch of 18 to 24-year-old women graduate from high school and college. And all them hoes do not want to be single, independent women. Now, I'm telling you, the very smart women, they already know this. They're already thinking about that when they're like 16, 17. And then by the time they're ready to start dating, they're already looking for guys who have all of their assets, their life skills. They know how to lead a household. They know how to lead themselves. Those dudes be the guys that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So like we be trying to tell you, women, those girls are approaching us. We're not even paying attention to them. We're protecting our finances, continuing to build our wealth, diversifying our portfolios. Women know what they're looking for. Some very smart women know what they're looking for. And they're not going to wait around for you weird, lonely bitches to tell them not to look for it.
Is that a fact? That's a fact.
was going to the fucking neighborhood park to go watch the boys play basketball, hoping one of these niggas would take you someplace dark where nobody can see all that and fuck you. You bitches were fucking in middle school. Hello? Y'all didn't just get pregnant, unfortunately.
Listen, I saw this clip, and I don't even know where it is now. I don't know if I saw it on my phone or if I saw it on the computer. The guy says, I hate when dudes say, I want a virgin. And then the girl be like, oh, you must like little children then. And the dude said, no, bitch, you was just fucking as a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you think when this nigga say virgin, you think he talking about somebody that's like 10 or 11.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. You're a weird bitch. You wasn't a virgin at 13, 14. You were a child, a minor, out here fucking all the boys in your goddamn school. So I can't feel bad for you because you was a single mom at 22. You did all the things that lead to that. It's
like before you hit 22, that means you was fucking for the past 10 years.
Exactly. Like who is this example I'm trying to use? When boys end up in jail at 25 years old, it's not like, oh my god, look at his rap sheet. That nigga been going to juvenile hall since he was a kid, getting kicked out of school.
Let's go back further because
he was a problem child.
Since he was like 8, 9, or 10, he was getting kicked out of school, going to like, Brooklyn House, different places.
Getting kicked out the house because you're not listening to your
to
parents'
my people
rules.
from upstate New York, but you was already going to little kid prison.
Like, he was a menace since he was a kid. You had a criminal mindset, so of course you ended up in jail. Where the fuck else would you have ended up? You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say, you bitches who are out here acting like you suffering because you're a baby mom, but you got 4 different baby dads. Would you shut the fuck up? Y'all hoes were the bitches who were fast in the ass when we was kids, and you was cracking jokes and laughing at the rest of us who were virgins, trying to treat those girls like they were lame bitches, and y'all was out here sucking everybody's dick on the football team. Now you want to turn around and act confused and surprised that you're knocked up with all these goddamn kids that nobody wants to take care of, but you had a track record of being a fucking hoe.
Well, here's the thing. I was just thinking about this a little bit earlier. I was like writing this script and it just made me laugh to think of this. Where these women always like to frame themselves like you're the victim of your single independent mom's boyfriend touching you. But you, bitch, you leaving out the part that you enjoyed him doing that because you already was doing this weird shit with the niggas around your neighborhood. You wish that your teacher would do some shit like that to you. Wasn't you talking about a bitch who did that in your school? And everybody knew this hussy got this nigga fired because she was coming on to him. Now, he is dumb for letting this child's advances work on him, but still, this bitch was straight dating this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that story. That's some crazy shit.
Not really.
It's crazy in the sense of she got away scot-free because she was a kid.
Well, what was supposed to happen to her? She's a minor.
No. That's not the part. I'm saying another part of that crazy shit is that the whole school was like, this bitch seduced this nigga on some grown woman shit.
Well, that was her consequence. Socially, she was in jail, but legally, no one's gonna do anything to her. She's a child.
The whole school knew, and that was a teacher that everybody liked, so it hurt even worse. It was like, oh man, Mr. whatever the fuck his name was, Mr. Johns? This, and I think I remember you telling me she wasn't even something pretty.
No,
what
she
did you
was
say?
pretty.
What was wrong with her?
She was pretty, but she only had one arm. Her
Okay.
arm was deformed at her elbow. She didn't have the rest of her arm. That's crazy too, because we had like 2 kids at the same time that went to high school with us. That a girl and a boy that didn't have one arm, and the boy, Lance, that was his name. He was mad popular. His dad was one of the like I don't know what the fuck he was, a security guard or something that worked at our school, and he
was one of the faculty.
Kind of, yeah. And his dad was also like a church elder. And this boy was so popular. He had like green eyes. He was light skinned. He was good looking, but he didn't have an arm. So, but he had mad friends, like just mad popular.
And that's what this girl was. She was a pretty girl, but she didn't have no arm.
Yeah, she was missing an arm, and she used to be in my math class, and I sat behind her. But I never talked to her because she was in a different grade.
And she seduced this grown man. Like I'm saying, it's his fault that he fell for her charms. So I'm not giving him a pass on that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a situation where she was like, oh my God, he forced me. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, he didn't force himself on her. Like, she was with it. They were dating.
Liked him.
She was dating this nigga.
Yeah, she thought he was her boyfriend.
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about those girls who at 12, bitch, you want to date a 20-year-old nigga.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about children dating adults. I'm talking about...
No, stop. I'm talking about children being sexually active. You have been fucking... You think it's better because you fucking a 12-year-old at 12?
That's what I'm saying.
No, that shit is garbage too.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying most of those girls weren't fucking dudes that were older than them. They were fucking niggas in school with us.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying these particular baby mothers who are acting... Modern day women baby mothers who got 3-4 kids by all these different dudes are trying to play the victim. I'm saying you was already fucking at 12. Exactly. Don't try to act like it's better because you was fucking 12 and 13-year-olds. Because once you turn 15, you still a minor, bitch. That's when the whole I'm outside, I'm 15, 16, sneaking in the club. There's adult men there. You know it's only 21 and over because you got a fake ID. How do you get to play the victim and act like someone took advantage of you and you over... Like, you can't complain about getting bit by a snake. You over where the snakes are at, bitch.
They never took advantage of them hoes. They was a bunch of fucking hoes. That's what I'm trying to say.
From 12, y'all was
Y'all
hoes.
been hoes since middle school, and now you want to act like you're confused and sad and, oh, I didn't see myself being in this situation when you're pregnant a bunch of times between 19 and 24 years old. And none of the baby dads want to stay around.
I think them bitches was pregnant a bunch of times from the time they started having their period. From that time,
some of them were.
All the way up until you finally accidentally just had to just keep the baby. And I think them bitches, because why would they need to have this thing where it's like, we're not going to tell your parents that you came here for an abortion. Why would that even exist? Because nobody forced themselves on that bitch. That whole somebody forced themselves on this girl, that's what they used to pass the law. But that law wasn't passed for those women. That law was passed for these bitches that's been hoes since they was 14.
These girls are not basically implying someone took advantage of them. What they're implying is that as adults, they somehow ended up with a bunch of weird dudes who are not responsible, and it's the baby dad who's an irresponsible jerk, and that's why I've got all these kids out of wedlock. That's what they'll try to make as their excuse, to which I'm saying, hold on, bitch, you are leaving out a very important part. Your baby dad is an asshole. He is a bum. He is a loser, okay? Mm-hmm. But what he isn't is bad in bed. He's very good in bed. And that was the reason why you kept dating him. Keep it real. He had no job. He wasn't a good provider. He wasn't a good leader. He don't even know what he's doing with his own self,
so
let alone lead you.
All of the 3 years you was, they're leaving that part out too. It wasn't just a one night stand. You was with this nigga for 3 years straight, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. You weren't just with this guy telling yourself, oh, he's a bum, he's a loser, he's horrible, he's this, he's that. And like, you still stuck around for 4 years straight. Meanwhile, you're telling yourself all these horrible things about him.
I gotta go back and write some jokes about that. You was in a committed relationship with this nigga for 3 years, bitch.
Exactly. And the reason why is because you just liked having sex with him. But the reason why the sex was so addictive to you is because you were already hypersexualized since you were a child. That's what I'm trying to say. You didn't discover your sexual drive when you turned 18, 19, 20. No, you already was playing in that pool when you was a kid. By the time you got to 18, 19, 20, you were so desensitized to sexual activities, you don't care about condoms. You don't care about birth control. You're not even bothering with that stuff anymore. Because you're so used to just doing whatever you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to keep upping the ante. If you've been fucking since you were a child, when you might be scared, oh, I'm going to get pregnant, oh, I'm going to get in trouble with my parents, I don't want to get an STD. So you'll use protection. But then when you get to a certain age, And like you realize I don't have as much of a climax doing it this way because I'm so used to doing it like this. It's boring now. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to take bigger risks. Oh, just take the condom off. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not going to take my birth control. I can't remember to take the pills. You're just going to like slack off with the protection part of it. So you will just take the risk and end up with all these children, all these different dudes, because to you, like I said, your pussy ain't worth nothing. You don't think your pussy is important. You know what I'm saying? And once you're used to having sex with all these different guys since you were a child, it just totally desensitizes you. Look at these girls out here saying 300 bodies, 1,000 bodies, like numbers that don't even make no type of sense. What?
I think I'm positive right now. Us men who are not even from that era, we're like, you fucked 300 dudes from the age of 19 to 24. No, nigga, she been fucking since 12.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, y'all hoes always leave that part out. In fact, some of these niggas y'all was fucking all at the same time. These niggas was not your boyfriends. They were just a bunch of one-night stand dudes. You went over to this guy's house and you let him smash. Then later in the day, you went to this guy's house and let him smash. Then later on in the night, you called this guy up and told him to come over. You had like 4 or 5 sessions of sex that day with a bunch of different guys. Y'all better stop playing so much. Like, these bitches lie so much.
Let me run back right fast. You know, Kobe Bryant, that whole case, him getting, this girl, I basically was saying that was an OnlyFans girl trying to extort this dude. And he had sex with her and she was like, pay me. He was like, bitch, I ain't giving you no money. And then she went and said, oh, he raped me.
Right.
Now, she didn't end up testifying because the prosecution was like, why is there 2 different semen in your panties?
Oh, no.
Now, I'm reading
parts
of the case. She said, oh, what happened was...
Right.
You said it right before I even finished.
Because, bitch, stop lying so much.
Okay, so then you really going to say right there. She said, I accidentally grabbed a dirty pair of underwear when I went to get my rape kit.
What the hell are you talking about?
So that explains the 2 different types of semen inside of me. Now, the whole thing I'm saying is...
No, it don't, because the semen wouldn't be inside you, you retard. It would be on the panties. What are you talking about?
Don't they do a rape kit? They go inside you, or do they do just on your panties? Or
I
both?
don't know what the hell they do when they give you a rape kit. I don't know. They look inside you to see if you have like bruises or bleeding or some kind of abrasions.
Well, Kobe's attorney said this trauma could be from somebody else, especially since you finding semen from another man in here. And then the point I even brought this up was because I didn't even realize you had sex with this dude one part of the day, then you had sex with this dude a whole another part of the day. And you as a woman are saying, women just be doing that. They'll call this dude in the morning, they'll see this dude in the afternoon.
Women don't do that. Hoes do that. There's a difference. And my point is, these weird ass bitches that like to live on the internet claiming that their lives are so hard because they have 1 million fucking kids and no help. I'm sitting here like, bitch, you just a hoe. Like, can you stop acting like the plight of womanhood rests on your shoulders and you're out here speaking for the entire gender of women? You're not. You're a fucking whore. You are a slut. That's what you are. You know that that's what you are, okay? And you out here talking crazy on the internet trying to get some sympathy points because you're not going to just come out and say I'm a hoe. And that's another reason why y'all bitches never can find no man to settle down with you, because you's a bunch of hoes. Think about this. Why I'm gonna even want to settle down with a nigga when I'm gonna lose my ability to just on a whim, fuck this nigga, I'm gonna go call this other dude up because I want to go suck his dick. Why would I give that up? For what? Especially when the only type of niggas I date are a bunch of bum dudes. So I'm gonna cross off every other potential cute guy I could fuck with because your bummy ass wants me to marry you? Why the fuck would I do that? That don't make no sense. Why would I do that? These bitches use their pussies as fucking collateral, as fucking cash. Like, they use it as currency. Why the fuck would these bitches tell themselves, I'm gonna lose all my opportunities by just settling down with this joker because he fathered one of my kids? It doesn't make sense for them to do that. But this is the mindset of a hoe. That's why she's different than a regular woman. Because normal women were like, first of all, I'm not fucking with no bummy weird dudes anyway.
Okay.
I don't want to date a guy who will just give me a baby out of wedlock and just think it's totally okay. You understand what I'm saying? He's just out here making a bunch of babies with all these different women. He just had another baby last year with some bitch down the street, and now you trying to get me pregnant? I don't even want to date a nigga like that. He don't have no sense of family life. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Women, in my opinion, they have to do more to differentiate themselves from the hoes, whores, and sluts. Because y'all all are cute and look the same. There's men, we have a level of discernment to where we can tell.
I'm telling you right now, women aren't going to do anything more, and women don't need to do anything more. Because at the end of the day, men who actually recognize good women who they themselves are good men, they will just attract themselves to each other. You can't help it. Good people always sniff each other out. They don't want to be around crazy people. They don't want to be around bad people. They don't want to be around people who are a headache. Your vibe is off. I can't even have a fucking conversation with you. Why would I keep talking to you because you're pretty? Get the fuck out of here.
It's a different wavelength.
It's not. It's always, you know, that feeling. It's like you don't know for sure that this person isn't a good match for you, but you just have a feeling like, I wouldn't be shocked if this didn't work out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the beginning stages of the so-called relationships, a lot of doubts. You're like, why does she do this? Why should she always be doing that? This sounds kind of weird, what she just said the other day. You'll like catch little things that don't sit right with you. That's your gut telling you this person's probably fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about this? I heard this. This guy said dating is just prostitution. And the girl was like, it was a panel. The girl said, but it is 2025. He said, back in the days, if you were seen with a woman and she wasn't your wife or your family member or something like that,
yourself.
That's like, they would think that's prostitution.
Yeah,
She's
dishonorable.
And then when I thought about it, I'm like, dating really is prostitution. You know why? Because I think it's acceptable because everybody gets paid. Let's think of what a date is. You got to spend money on the establishment you're going to eat at. They're getting their cut. You got to spend money on the alcohol. They're getting their cut. You have to spend money on the transportation. That entity is getting its cut. The woman is getting her cut because at some point you're going to give her, you're already trading her attention. Like I saw this guy, I'm using the video. He said, you got to protect your meat. MEAT. Your money, energy, attention, and time. You're paying her in that, even if you don't get anything physical out of that whole situation from her. You're still paying her in your money. You're spending your money on her.
And that's ultimately why marriage doesn't work well for people in the United States. Gina was watching a video earlier today where something on YouTube, he was talking about how the marriage rates have dropped and more young people are staying single longer. And so the housing market is kind of like bad because nobody's buying properties. So now these young people are telling themselves, well, I can't get a property by myself and I'm not going to have a spouse.
So they're going to be in an apartment.
No, they're trying to buy property with their friends. You know what I'm saying? With their platonic friends. So
I hope he ain't thinking he going to do that.
Hell no.
Because he got a lot of these platonic girlfriends who they're the future bums. Those bitches have to partner up with somebody
but what I was telling Gina
marry
was,
some dude and have a kid with
it
him.
doesn't matter if some trend is going on that's making these people want to go substitute spouses for friends, because nature is still stronger than whatever the fuck you niggas think. That ain't gonna work out for you so well, because somebody from that friend group is going to end up wanting to have a spouse or a mate. And when that person comes along, today when we bought this house, I didn't have nobody. I was single. I thought I was going to be single forever. But if anything changes in the next few years and I do find me somebody, I'm not to sit here and fucking live with you weird ass niggas and pay this mortgage with y'all when I can go off and be running off into the sunset with my love interest.
He didn't say nothing about buying no rental property with none of his friends. Was he talking about that?
No.
Okay.
He's just watching a video, and the guy, that was what he was talking about in the video. The guy was basically saying that's how some young people are choosing to own property now, because it's not possible for them to qualify for a mortgage on their own, and they don't have spouses, and they have no prospects of getting married anytime soon, because they're all chasing their careers, or it's very difficult for them to date. So, and I was telling Ginu, like, the American culture, the need for a person to even have to do that is because this culture is so selfish. If you always put yourself 100% first, and you never consider anybody else and their needs, then of course you cannot find a spouse, because having a spouse is the complete opposite of that. You cannot have a successful relationship with a spouse if all you think about is yourself. You have to put the other person, actually you have to put the other person first, and that person has to put you first, so each party feels cared for. Then, because you are appreciated, you're going to have a more fulfilling life. So I told him, the fact that these young people are even trying to replace a spouse with a friend is proof that human beings are not meant to be alone. Whether it's your love interest or your friend, you still have this innate need as a human being to belong to a group and partner up. That's just your nature. So you cannot fight your nature. God made you like that. That's why don't you just go fucking buy the house by yourself? Work harder. Why not? You independent. Independent means you don't need nobody. So go fucking do that shit. But no, they're not going to do that, because it's not that they need the other person's credit or money so much. It's that they want the company. They don't want to be by themselves in some house that looks fancy on the inside and outside, but there's no one in there with them. Nobody wants to do that.
And that's the part that women don't get when they think they're going to be out here doing whatever they think they're going to do. It like totally escapes them that it totally escapes them that you're going to want to be around somebody. You want to be around somebody now, which is why you're dating. You're not dating only for sex. You're dating for companionship.
Well, this is the joke. They started dating only for sex, and that's what led them to being single mothers so young. And then, because they're a human being, eventually they do want some companionship. But now, because you have ran through your body with all these different dudes and had a bunch of children out of wedlock, the dudes that would settle down, they don't have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
Not on that level.
Right. And I'm telling you, like, that other part you were saying about, like, these women having to do more, I'm telling you, they don't have to do more. Good girls get scooped up. How did they get fucking scooped up? They didn't do more. They're just being themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yourself is a huge contrast between a crazy bitch and you. The only problem is a lot of men don't understand how to read women. That's the problem. And if they learn how to read women, then they can pick those girls out fast. You understand what I'm saying? But they don't know how to read female body language, actual speech. They don't know how to read our attitudes. They don't know how to read our mannerisms. They're too much listening to what women say literally. And they're taking everything women say very literal. And you can't do that with women. She's not really saying what it sounds like her words are saying. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Now I do. I didn't know that initially. And I know all of these men don't. And here's the other thing about pimps. I don't know if it's society or if it's the hood or just people around, whether these be street people or people that's in the quote-unquote square world.
Mm-hmm.
They always made it seem like, these pimps understand women. But in my travels, I realized, no, you understand a kind of woman. You don't understand women, because you would be able to turn all of the saying you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's one part of it. They never say you can't turn a housewife into a hoe, because she'll always go back to that house. Like, she don't want to do this shit. You basically kidnapped this hoe and drugged her. When she gets clean, she gonna run away from you, nigga. The turning a hoe to the housewife, there is no getting her clean, because that's who she is. Like, somebody turned her into that. Maybe she was like abused, and these pimps have come out and started admitting now, you gotta mess with a girl that's like abused. Something happened to her, or this and this and that.
To manipulate.
Right, but the connotation attached to pimps is that they understand anyone with ovaries, and that isn't true. They don't. But they talk like they do. Talking to well, here's the thing. Women don't talk to us like this and tell us this as guys. No woman in our family. You know, unless you're like Richard Pryor and you grew up in a damn hoe house. Richard Pryor literally do that. He literally grew up like that.
But women don't talk to you guys about this stuff because, like I keep on trying to explain, it's not in the nature of a woman to be direct and literal. She's just not. She's telling you certain things, but she's saying it in such a vague way, you think she's not telling you. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
If you understood that she is telling you, because you know when she's saying this thing, she's not saying the literal thing it sounds like. You have to interpret what she's saying. Then you realize, oh, she's giving me information. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't understand that she's speaking in subtleties and vagueness, and you have to convert her words into plain English, then you just gonna miss the message. You know what I'm saying?
I do get it.
So the point I'm trying to make is that if these guys are out here looking for women, but then telling themselves these women have to literally throw themselves into his lap in order to get any kind of attention from him, he's just going to be alone for the rest of his life, because women will never change their communication style for men. And it's not because they're like, oh, you are a man, I'm not doing anything for you. It's not for that reason. It's because they can't.
They don't know how to.
They cannot do it. And this is why God made the man the leader. You understand what I'm saying? We'll follow behind y'all, but we're not going to just on our own be like, I'm going to just start doing this now. I'm not doing that. The logical thing to do would be for the woman to make herself more obvious. But we don't operate in logic. So why the hell would I just be doing that? Because you said so? No, I'm not. Go talk to any woman. Good, crazy, bad, lonely, sad, happy. Any woman who's of dating age, and you ask her if she's going to pursue a man that she likes, she's going to tell you hell the fuck no. She's going to laugh in your face and be like, I'm not doing that. All women are going to say that. You understand what I'm saying?
So it's starting to look like TikTok, social media in general, is basically a breeding ground for hoes. And what I mean by that is these girls who have been sexually active since they was in 4th and 5th grade, perhaps. It doesn't make it better because she was fucking other 4th graders and some 5th graders and 6th graders. Our daughter didn't have sex in 4th or 5th or 6th. She's not doing that. And I'm not saying that because it's a stain on us as parents. If your kid is, a lot of people, their kid having sex isn't a stain on them anymore because you're not allowed to shame your kid. The kid, you know what I'm saying? The kid just don't want you in their business. But I'm saying that because that's what it is. These people are also not supervising their kids. There's this one news clip I saw where they said 12 pregnancies came out of this sleepover. There was the senior sleepover in school, and the teachers were supposed to be chaperoning the kids, but they brought their own drinks into the school. I thought you couldn't do that, but whatever. They was getting tipsy, these teachers, and they like the students snuck off into
do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Nobody forced these girls to do that. They wanted to do it. Them boys didn't threaten them. You understand what I'm saying?
I do get it.
They weren't scared. They didn't get raped. They wanted to go to because you's a fucking mischievous bitch. You's a rebellious bitch. You's a bored ass bitch. You don't have no hobbies, bitch. You ain't got no talent. You just trying to feel occupied and entertained. And guess what? There's nothing really that much more entertaining to most females other than men and dating and sex. That's what I'm saying. They talk about that shit nonstop when they get with their girlfriends. They're thinking about that stuff. Your hormones are racing when you are in puberty, especially girls. But they just don't talk about that publicly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at that age, when you start going through puberty, is when your body is basically priming itself to make children. So I'm not saying this to say something's wrong with these girls because they have those feelings. What I'm saying is it's inappropriate at your age to be actually doing something about it because you have those feelings.
Unless you're going to get married, but you're not going to get married for whatever your reasons are.
You can't get married at 13 anyways, so that's what I'm saying.
Well, this particular thing was a senior sleepover, so these kids is like they're like of age. I guess they're seniors in high school.
Right, and you think all them niggas was virgins until that night? They already been was fucking. That's what I'm saying. Y'all was already doing that anyway before senior year. When y'all got to high school, you was already doing that. In 8th grade, you was already doing that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not having sex with each other because you want to get married. You're having sex because your body's hormones are just flipping the fuck out, and nobody taught you how to date. Your scared ass, awkward ass parents, they talk about all kinds of shit around you, but then when it comes to dating, these niggas get quiet and awkward and scared to talk. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't understand that about Americans. They're so crass and like sexually hype, while at the same time being so prude and making everything a taboo to talk about. It's so strange to me. I don't understand how it can both be true about the society, but it is. You know what I mean?
I do get it.
Yeah. So and now with the internet, these kids are exposed to everything under the sun on the internet. They have way more exposure now than they did when it was my generation in school, and we was starting to see these fastened-ass bitches popping up left and right having babies. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is the good women are even more rare today, and social media is not even like for them. It's for everybody, but it really is a breeding ground for hoes. These girls who have been having sex, but now you're no longer like 20 or 21. Now you're like closer to your 30s, and I don't know how the hormone works when you're like 30 or whatever like that. But these girls are all complaining and trying to, like this one girl said, I think these dudes, it made me think of your friend Lionel. I think these dudes, and you never heard this clip, so that's how I know it's on some other shit. She said, these dudes be trying to take revenge on us women that's in our 30s and we got kids now, and they like mad at us because we wouldn't give them the time of day in high school. You niggas need to just stop being bitter and just go ahead and just date us.
What?
I swear to God this lady said that. I swear to God.
Okay, first problem. If y'all was ignoring these dudes in high school, that means you didn't think they were good enough to date.
Well, see, you're decoding the girl speak. I'm hearing her basically saying one hand washes the other. That's what, and I know I'm wrong, but I wouldn't date you then. Don't take your anger out on me because I wouldn't date you, and try to act like I'm a passport bro. Because you may as well just date me, nigga. Because at the end of the day, you do still want to hit it.
That's stupid, because if you're sitting here telling yourself these dudes are trying to get revenge on us because we rejected them in the past, why on fucking earth would you then be upset that these niggas are mad at you? Like, who cares? Why would you then say you should just date? Why the fuck would you want to date a nigga who you rejected in the past? You weird bitch. You see what I'm trying to say?
I don't know why she would say that, but she was on a panel talking to a whole... This is a bitch...
Do you hear what I'm talking about?
It was one of these ace metaphors. There was a bunch of people in the audience.
Yeah,
and none of the women was like, boo. The bitch was clapping.
That's why I keep saying, I don't feel bad for now one of y'all fucking single mother hoes. Because y'all's a bunch of slut bag bitches. Y'all was the same bitches that was sneaking off behind the bleachers with these football player ass dudes and coming back, wiping your fucking face, and then acting like you so innocent and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Y'all was those bitches, and y'all would walk around flaunting your ass cheeks all over the place, basically sexualizing yourself, and advertising yourself as a bunch of just raw meat. You understand what I'm saying?
So here's another thing that's kind of insane. If you're advertising yourself as sexually active, you're sexualizing yourself, why get upset when a nigga says, yo, how much?
This is the retardedness of the whole situation.
Like that one bitch that was like dancing around, and I said, yo, how much would you charge for a couple? And I was, what type of girl do you think I think you a hoe because you're jiggling up around.
Why are you on the internet with all your goods hanging out. That's what I'm saying. It's
What
like,
you mad at me? Like Dave Chappelle said, I'm not saying you're a policeman, but you're walking around with a policeman's outfit.
Didn't I say for years, these hoes ain't mad at y'all because they don't like you and they want y'all to go away and Me Too movement and leave us alone, you dusties. That's just words. They just talking. But if they really felt that way, they wouldn't come saying it to y'all. They wouldn't do that. They would ignore you like you didn't even exist. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true, because women don't ever talk about rapists. Like, I'm mad that you...
Nobody goes knocking on a rapist door to be like, I just want to let you know that I think you're a piece of shit. These girls ain't doing that. Because they don't want to have nothing to do with them dudes.
You know, I heard on Let's Read, this guy was saying that as a pedophile and dudes who like did stuff to children, abused children or whatever like that, just like beat them up or something like that, during Halloween, you have to post a sign that says, no candy here, don't come here, and all that type of stuff. And then, like, if you don't, you can get a fine.
It's embarrassing.
Or tell me about it. You can get a fine, up to $1,000 fine, or get sent back to jail for a year. What I'm saying is, you know where he at. No women say, knock, knock, knock. Hey, man, I don't like the fact that you be touching little kids, nigga. And I just want to let you know. Well, I don't have a kid, but I want to let you know, nigga. If I ever have a kid and you say something to my kid, it's going to be a problem. Nobody ever does that.
And you definitely don't go knocking on the door and say, hey, Mr. Pedo, remember when I was 7 and you was trying to kick it to me and I rejected you? Well, now I'm an adult and you should just date me. Like, you're not going to say that to... What are you talking about, you weird bitch? What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you tell a nigga that you rejected in the past to stop being mad at you and just date me? You's a weird bitch. You are so weird. Why do you want to date these niggas now? You see the hypocrisy?
Like, did you really always want to date them back then?
So
but
now
you just...
let me flip it and put it like how these women put it to you guys. Stop projecting, bitch. You are the one that's mad that this nigga is rejecting you. You are the one that's pissed that you turned your nose up at these niggas and now they looking down at y'all and saying, oh, gross. I'm so glad I never got with y'all hoes. You are the one that's upset that you ended up with all these goddamn kids and these same dudes who you was trying to make feel like they were shit. They don't have a bunch of kids to take care of like you. You mad about that. You mad that you look 10 years older than your age because you stressed the hell out and stretched the hell out. And these niggas look good as fuck in their 20s and 30s. You really the one that's mad. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You the one that's mad when you see these dudes walking down the street with their girlfriends and their wives and their beautiful children. And you walking down the street by yourself with no man and your children. You mad about that. That's why you getting upset at these dudes because they don't want to date you. It doesn't make any damn sense for you to say some dumb shit like that to a dude. What are you even talking about? If I rejected you in the past, I don't want you. Get away from me. I don't care what the hell you think. I'm not about to sit here and tell you should just date me. What kind of leftover ass shit is that to say? You was a leftover ass bitch. What are you talking about?
I was thinking, but you like kind of knocked that thought process down. I'm like, maybe these bitches are just content creators.
They're never content creators. Never.
So if they're not content creators, then this is actually a thought in this bitch's heart and mind.
It ain't just her thought. Look at how fucking quiet the audience is. It's a bunch of them weird assholes.
They was cheering for this hoe.
That's what I'm saying. They are all thinking like that. Do you hear what I'm trying to say?
So like your friend Lionel, these chicks are like, Lionel, you ought to just stop. Yeah, we didn't want to talk to you when we was in like 8th and 9th grade. You went off to, the military, got all tall and buff and, nature made you tall, but you got all buff and all of that stuff. And stop dealing with them girls in these other countries. You need to just, you got your passport, whatever, nigga. They stationed you in Germany, whatever. But you need to just fuck all that and just date one of us.
Gross. Why the hell would these guys date y'all? That's so gross.
That's embarrassing that you would even suggest that.
Yeah, why would you want to date them? Like, what are you even talking about right now, lady? That whole scenario just, you sound like you're high. Like, why did the words come out of your mouth like that? You sound silly. And all these silly whores that are clapping and fucking egging you on, That is a physical reflection of what the internet is for these women. That's why they come on TikTok talking sideways out their ass cheeks, because other dumb bitches who are in the same situation as them literally live on the internet. So they just keep going around and around in an echo chamber of, oh, yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, queen, over and over and over again. And they just get like high off the feelings. The feelings of being validated, and oh, this person thinks that I'm right about something. This person thinks that I know what I'm talking about. They're listening to something I said. You lonely bitch. That's why these bitches is doing that stuff. That's why I keep saying I can't hang out on the internet with you weird hoes, because y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb and lonely and miserable. All y'all do is complain all day long. Never got no solution for anything. You that's the solution? Oh, the niggas who I rejected should just come over here and date me. For what?
Well, first things first, she was saying you niggas is trying to get revenge. I don't think you just living your best life and this, and I think you trying to get revenge.
What's the revenge? Because I am successful, that's somehow vengeance against
I think
me?
she was saying your revenge is being able to call us single mothers and basically ridiculing us.
But you are a single mother. Why do these people keep thinking that it's an insult because someone said something that's true about you? You were wearing a hair hat. It's not an insult. It's actually an observation.
It's not an instant observation.
Like, I can't say that I can tell that your long fingernails aren't real? Why can't I say that? What? Bitch, shut the fuck up. That's why I keep saying nobody cares what y'all hoes is talking about, because you're only talking about your feelings, and your feelings don't make any sense. They're not based on anything that's reality. It's just your imagination and some dumb voice in your head that's telling you all kinds of backward stuff, and you just keep listening to it. No fucking wonder. If this is how logic works for you, ma'am, you're just gonna have to accept the fact that you're gonna die alone, because no man in his right mind that has logic that works is gonna listen to the way you talk and go, she would make a great wife, great mother for my kids. No nigga is gonna say that about you. What are you talking about? And y'all got the audacity to be out here with some pink ass hair, 4-inch eyelashes, fake ass nails, a bustier on. Like, y'all are so artificial. You didn't even take time to develop your character so you wouldn't say stupid shit like this in front of a bunch of strangers on the internet. That's embarrassing. Like, what is wrong with these girls? Who is listening to them?
No idea.